I completed the Mega Evolution Master Set in 3 days. I can't believe I did it. I can't believe I made it work. So for those of you who don't know, I had an event over the weekend called Card Party. Card Party is a fantastic event, kind of like a Collecticon, if you've heard of those before, a front row card show, but on a different kind of scale. It tailors a lot more, caters a lot more towards the community, at least in my opinion. Families, things like that. It's just a really good time. It's very wholesome. It's very fun. And every set release, we give away a master set. We pull every single common, uncommon, reverse holo, holo, and then all the ultra rares too. The ultra rares, the double rares, the illustration rares, the special illustration rares. In the case of Mega Evolution, the mega ultra rares as well. We pull them all, and we put them all in one binder where the etch work is done for us by the Unlucky Collector. Give them a follow on Instagram at the Unlucky Collector. We fill one out and we give it away to one lucky YouTube subscriber. We've been doing this for a while now, but with Destined Rivals, things got different, right? Like things changed a lot when it comes to the Pokemon card community, and I didn't feel comfortable opening as much. Not because, and there was so much support by you guys, like, Danny, do your thing, open up product, that's what you've always done. You got to make sure you get competitive cards for your friends. Like, that's what I've done that for years and years, but things have changed, times have changed, and we really wanted to make sure that we were able to sell as much product at MSRP as possible, get as much out there at MSRP as we possibly could. So with sets, we've just been selling everything instead of opening. So I opened up 2 booster boxes. I compiled pull rate data from other friends who opened up product, Discord members who opened up products. That way I could get an accurate understanding of what pull rates actually look like for Mega Evolution, but we didn't open much. And because of that, it's become a lot more difficult and a little bit more expensive to complete a master set. But we challenged ourselves to get it done at Card Party. I'm not going to ruin everything because I did record quite a bit of it. I didn't get a whole lot of time to do it because I was running around like crazy doing other things. I don't know if you watched the live stream over the weekend or saw anything going on. I had meet and greets, I had pack battles, things like that. It was a ton of fun, but time was short, and we found a way to get it done. So this is it. This is the Mega Evolution Master Set right here. So it's got literally everything in it, all the way to the Mega Ultra Rares in the back here. So the Gardevoir, the Lucario, all the special illustration rares, it is all in here. Everything that you can pull from a booster pack. So that's how I do it. I know a lot of people will add the promos and stuff too. I just do everything that you can pull from a booster pack, and now we're going to give this to one lucky subscriber. So if you want to be that lucky subscriber, first of all, obviously you have to hit that subscribe button down below. But then you also have to go back to this video right up here. This is the thumbnail image of it, and you just have to leave a like and a comment on that video. And that's it. That's all you got to do. So subscribe, like, comment. That way the random comment picker can do its thing, and we're going to announce the winner next Friday, which I think is October 17th. So this Friday plus 1 week, and we'll announce the winner. But it was crazy. And I also took my first red eye. I'm absolutely exhausted. I flew out of Seattle at 11:40 p.m. last night, connected in Minneapolis, and had to leave there at 7 o'clock this morning. Got to Milwaukee Airport at like 8:15, and then drove home, and now I showered. Now it's 10:30 when I'm recording this video. So feeling exhausted, but ready to go, ready to talk about some 151 stuff, some not so 150 fun. That doesn't make sense. 151 and how the fun cost isn't great. I think these videos are always super important because it does give you perspective. Obviously, when you open up booster packs, it's fun, right? Like, it's something that we all enjoy doing. Ripping packs is just a very enjoyable experience, not just because you can pull a cool chase card, which is awesome, but also the memories that you create when you're opening up cards. That's why it's so frustrating right now as a Pokemon card collector who does enjoy opening packs, because it's the memories that you make while you're doing it. Like, it's the memory that you make when you maybe pull that first chase card, or maybe a card that you're looking for your master set, or whatever the case may be. It's a lot easier to do when the booster packs are relatively inexpensive. And that's not the case anymore for 151. 151 has continuously climbed. And yeah, singles are going up, but they're actually not going up at a rate that really makes it worth opening at all. So in today's video, we're going to look at the fun cost of 151. I think it's super important, and really goes to show why the one great thing about Deep Pocket Monster, Pat Flynn, his should I open it or should I keep it sealed? It's catch a jingle. Obviously, very, very fun challenge that he does. The answer is usually always keep it sealed. Like that's usually the answer. I understand it's important. Like you want to crack packs and you want to enjoy making those memories, creating those core memories, especially if you do it as a family or do it with your friends. It is so much fun. But at the same time, once they get to a certain price, you got to make sure you're within your means here. And also, it takes a village. It takes a village to make sure that you guys, that we're not, supporting the outrageous prices when it comes to opening packs. So we're going to look at the fun cost and see how much you're actually losing every time you rip a pack of 151 if you're paying the current pack price, which is almost $17. It's crazy. So as we jump into things, I think it's super important to kind of preface the fact that 151 was kind of the beginning of the end for pull rates. If you remember the pull rates from the beginning of the Scarlet and Violet block, they were goated, right? Like they were so busted. You got one special illustration rare basically every 27 packs. So it was very common. You could open up a booster box of Scarlet and Violet base, Obsidian Flames, Paldea Evolved, and you could really pull 2 special illustration rares in the same box. And it was a common thing. It was a very common thing. And then 151 began the change, where it became like 1 out of 45 packs. Now, they didn't have booster boxes, obviously, for 151. So you had to go off the data based off of, just large pack sample sizes through booster bundles, through ultra premium collections, through elite trainer boxes. And then Paradox Rift was more of the same, 1 out of about 45 packs, somewhere around there. And then things changed for the worse. Like things really started changing then with Temporal Forces, where it became more of about 1 special illustration rare for every 72 packs, 1 every 2 boxes. And that's pretty much where we're at now. So 151, while it's not as goated of pull rates as what we have for Scarlet and Violet base, Paldea Evolved, and Obsidian Flames, it's still better than what we've experienced with Temporal Forces on. So this data that we're looking at right here is basically the pull rate data for 151 and then prices that are associated with each potential pull. Each ultra rare or double rare or special illustration rare, and then we break it down based off of averages. So the average that you're expected to pull out of a booster box sample size. Remember, no booster boxes for 151. So we're looking at a 36-pack sample size and then narrowing that down to see how much value you're actually expected to pull on average from your 151 booster pack. Now, it's difficult to find 151 out there right now. You might still find some for MSRPs. They've done a really good job, especially with like Blooming Waters, of getting more product out there and then stocking vending machines with like booster bundles and stuff. It seems like there's a lot more that has hit the secondary market, or at least the open market, the first market, right? Like it's at least been out there a little bit. Very difficult to find because of the amount of people who are in demand for that product. Supply isn't lining up with demand, but it has been out for a while. And if you were around at the time of 151, it was relatively inexpensive. It was never really at a point where it was above MSRP for a very long time. So it took some time to get to the problem. Is a lot of people came back into the hobby well after 151 already released and never really got the opportunity to open it at MSRP. So that's basically how this is going to break down. We're going to look at the prices for the individual cards, and we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. Just kind of call out the ones that are worth noting. For the most part, all the double rares in the set when it comes to 151 are just bulk double rares, cards that you can basically sell for like $2 a piece. Most of them are actually worth quite a bit less than $2, but I do believe that if you list a card for $2, you can get $2 for a double rare, for an ultra. I think $2 is a safe play for that. There are 2 cards that are the exception. So the Charizard EX from 151 right now is selling for $4.78. And then you do have the Mew EX with its ability. Mew EX is a fairly competitive card, and because of that, still being in format, it does carry a little bit more value associated with it, despite the fact that it's been reprinted in a lot of different outlets many a time. So $7.80 is where that one is sitting. Illustration rares have gone up a little bit. They've gone up actually a decent amount from the last time that we did this. We did this like 4 or 5 months ago, and a lot of illustration rares have gone up a couple dollars. So you've got Bulbasaur right here, which is at $47.16. The Ivysaur is sitting there at $32.29. The Charmander is the most expensive illustration rare at $57.44. Charmeleon sitting there at $41.51. Squirtle's at $51.82. The Wartortle is at $32.58. One of the cheaper ones, Caterpie, currently sitting at $10. The Pikachu has exploded quite a bit, right? Like that one's at $46.19. I think the last time that we looked at this, it was a $35 card. So that's one of the ones that's actually gone up like the highest percentage and hasn't dipped as much. So we went through this real roller coaster with 151 pricing over the last few months, where a lot of singles gained a ton of momentum and then crashed and retraced. And now over the last month or so, they've started gaining a lot of it back. And the Pikachu kind of just stayed flat and then just started climbing again. So $46.19 on that one. The Nidoking is there at $11.32. You've got $27.10 on the Psyduck. That one has continuously climbed as well. Very cool artwork on that one. Poliwhirl's at $22.90. That one's climbed quite a bit. And then you have a few more inexpensive ones, like the Machoke sitting there at $11.38. The Tangela is at $7.84. Mr. Mime is at $7.65. The Ammonite is at $6.92. And the Dragonair sitting there at $25.73. If we move over to the Ultra Rares, these are the full arts over here. Not a whole lot of value that's crazy for a lot of these. So a lot of these actually went down a couple dollars, probably because there's a lot more that has hit the secondary market. Now, 151 is going to be like this super important pack for a very long time. I think we're still like kind of in the infancy of a lot of live auctions and pack breaks and rip and chips and things like that. I think that's going to be a popular thing for quite some time. And 151 is just always going to be one of those sets that people flock to as something they really enjoy opening. No different than like Evolving Skies, no different than Hidden Fates, and you've seen what the potential is for those packs. So even though 151 is sitting there at like $16, $17 a booster pack right now, a lot of people who put a lot of money into Pokemon, and there's so many people right now who do, $16 doesn't mean that much to them when they think that a pack like 151 is going to be $32, $35 in pack breaks in the future. So Venusaur EX currently sitting there at $11.22. Charizard EX, the most expensive one, right? $33.39. That one's actually down a little bit, but still holding on fairly strong. $13.75 for the Blastoise EX. And then you've got a bunch of single digits here. So 5 on the Arbok, you've got $9.59 on the Ninetales, $6.28 on the Wigglytuff, $8.61 on the Alakazam. The Golem's at $5.10, Kangaskhan at $5.27, $5.58 for the Jinx, $8.26 for the Zapdos. Again, the Mew EX a little bit more expensive. Part of that is because of collectability, but a lot of it also has to do with the playability of the card. $19.85 on that one. And then Bill's Transfer actually is not the least expensive card in the set. It's sitting there at $2.99. Daisy's Help has overtaken Bill as the least expensive Ultra Rare in the set at $2.91. I thought that was pretty interesting when I was putting this together. Erica's Invitation sitting there at $5.79. And then Giovanni's Charisma at $4.41. The special illustration rares, these are the ones that have made a lot of gains over the past month or so. So starting with the cheapest down here, these ones have not. So Giovanni's Charisma, $15.03. What's most interesting about this one is that this one had jumped up. When we looked at this data about 5 months ago, this was a $35 card. Well, when we looked at this data about 5 months ago, Destined Rivals had just come out or wasn't even out yet. I forget exactly when we recorded the last video, but a lot of Team Rocket cards were being pumped at the time of release for Destined Rivals. So a card like Giovanni's Charisma was being pumped up like crazy and got bought out, jumped up to about $35, and now it's retraced all the way back down to $15.03. So that just goes to show you all that noise that's going on out there. It's very important to kind of look around, do your own research, and make smarter decisions when it comes to spending your collection budget, because a lot of times if it smells sus, it probably is sus. So Erica's Invitation sitting there at $16.73. The Zapdos EX has seen just enormous growth over the past month and a half, sitting there at $92.99. Alakazam EX sitting at $59.48. Blastoise EX is getting really close to that $100 mark. It's sitting at $96.76 right now. Charizard EX continues to creep closer and closer to $300. That's at $280.52. And then you've got the Venusaur EX Special Illustration Rare at $82.94. The Hyper Rares, only 3 in the set. Again, the Mew EX, a little bit more playability, $17.18 on that one. But then you've got cheap cards. The Switch is only at $2.60, and the Psychic Energy at $4.74. So what does this all mean? What we do is we break this down based off of what you are expected to get in your booster box sample size. So obviously they don't have booster boxes for 151, so this would be the equivalency of like 6 booster bundles or 4 Elite Trainer boxes, somewhere around that. 36 packs is what we're looking at when we go over pull rate data here. So you're looking at about 3 packs for every hit for 151. So you open up 10 packs, you should get at least 3 hits, like 3.33 is how it breaks down. That means in a booster box sample size, you should get about 11.91 hits. Most 36 pack sample sizes is going to give you 12 hits. You might get 11, but you should get 12. And then what we do is we look at the average price point for that rarity category. So looking at double rares, you should get 5.28 per booster box sample size. So every 36 packs of 151 that you open up, you should get 5.28 of that double rare category. The problem is those double rares only average out to $2.72. So yeah, you could pull that Mew, which is worth like $7, $8 almost, but you might also pull 5 of the cheaper ones, 5 of the bulk ones. You know, you could pull the Alakazam, the Zapdos, the Golem, the Jinx, and then, you know, another one. Pick another one. They're the Blastoise. And then that's why you get an average price of only $2.72. So on average, your booster box sample size of 36 packs, you're looking at about $14.35 worth of value from that booster box sample size. If we look at the ultra rare category here, you're going to get about two per booster box sample size. So every 36 packs of 151 that you open up, you're going to get about 2 of those full art ultra rares. The average price point on those ultra rares, $9.27. So if you pull the Charizard, you're going to be sitting a lot prettier in this category, because that one alone obviously worth about $33. But if you remember when we looked at it, you've got the Daisy's Help, you've got the Giovanni, you've got the Bill's Transfer. Like, those are all only a few dollars. Even the Erica's only a few dollars. And then you've got some full arts that are relatively inexpensive too, like the Golem and the Jinx and the Wigglytuff, which is why you're looking at about $9.27 on average. It's average for a reason. That means your booster box is expected to hold about $19.33 worth of value when it comes to that 36 pack sample size. Your illustration rare is a little bit better. You're getting about 3 per booster box, like you do in pretty much every other set. Your average value on those is $27.49. So yeah, you've got some more expensive ones, right? Like the Charmander, the Squirtle, the Pikachu, but you've also got a few that are less expensive, like the Ammonite and the Nidoking, and that brings that average price point down a fair amount. So $27.49 is your average price point. That means $74.87 is what you're expected to get on average out of your 36 pack sample size of Scarlet and Violet 151. When it comes to your special illustration rare category, you're getting about 1.09 per booster box sample size. So the average price point on that is a little bit higher right now because a lot of those cards have gone up in price. You're looking at about $92.06 on those special illustration rares. Yeah, this is skewed a little bit because of that Charizard, right? That Charizard obviously bringing this price point up a little bit. But $92, you could pull the Zapdos. That's worth about $92. You could pull the Blastoise. So there's 3 cards, 3 out of like the 7 or 8 that there are that you could pull that equal or equate to that $92 price point, or even a little bit better. So it's not too far skewed, but it is a little bit skewed. That means on average, your booster box sample size is going to hold about $100 worth of value when it comes to that special illustration rare category. The hyper rare category, you're only looking at about 0.74 per booster box. So it takes you about 48 packs to pull 1 hyper rare. Your average value on those, $8.17. That is going to be skewed a little bit. If you don't pull the Mew, then you're only looking at a few dollars worth of value, because that's the price point of that Psychic Energy and of that Switch. So on average, your 36 pack sample size is $6.08. It's probably a little bit high, honestly. All these numbers are probably a little bit high. It's average for a reason. You're going to get about 3 hits per Elite Trainer box. If we add this all up, you're looking at about $214.53 worth of value in your 36 pack sample size. Okay, so that means all of the ultra rares that you could pull, that you're expected to pull on average, about $214.53, which is good. Like, that's strong value, right? And then you've got ancillary value in the set as well. So the Gengar holographic rare is selling for a little bit over $1. You've got the Holo Energies in 151, which sell for about $1 a piece. So you've got a little bit of ancillary value there, a little bit of bulk value there, not a whole lot, but you know, you got an extra penny and a half per card there. That means in total, you're looking at about $224.53 worth of value out of your 36 pack sample size. The problem is the average cost per booster pack right now is $16.66. And if you divide this $224.53 by 36 to determine your average value per pack, you're only getting to $6.24. So if you could open up a pack of Destined Rivals, or open up a pack of the newest set, Black Bolt and White Flare, or even the newest set, Mega Evolution, and your average value is $6.24, a lot of people would take that. But $6.24 for a set where your current pack cost is $16.66, not as fun anymore. So you are literally looking at throwing away $10.42. $10. So if you take $10.42 out of your pocket and throw it in the garbage every time you open up a single booster pack of 151, if you're paying the going rate, if you're paying the market price. That's why it's so important. If you're buying these packs at MSRP, if you're in the vending machine and you see a restock, or you walk into a Target and you get a restock and there's booster bundles there and you're like, hey, I'm going to buy a booster bundle so I can rip it. Great. You're coming out ahead. You're in great shape. And now, obviously, you should never expect to make money or get your value back opening booster packs. That should never be, what's on your mind. But there is a cost that comes with having fun. With Pokemon, opening Pokemon cards, in my mind, is a form of entertainment. It's something that you do for fun, right? It's something that you enjoy doing. But is it as fun when you're losing $10.42 every time you open up a single pack? That's obviously completely up to you. But here's the graph right here of how 151 is done over the past year. You can see a lot of growth over the past few months here. That's because 151 becoming more difficult to find. A lot of people think we're done with Blooming Waters. We're done. The Pokemon's going to focus more on Prismatic Evolution. So a lot of people kind of loading up on 151. You see a lot less on the secondary market than what there was before. As you can see, less sales on TCG Player after these buyout phases happen, where there's less consistent sales because there's not as many popping up on the secondary market as the price continues to climb and climb and climb. So $16.66 is the going rate right now for a 151 booster pack. But on average, that booster pack is only going to be worth $6.24 worth of value. So be very careful when it comes to spending money, when it comes to opening. A lot of times singles are going to be the way to go. And I know it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun to open booster packs. Don't get me wrong. I love doing it. And it's been difficult these last few set releases to not open up that much because I do enjoy opening booster packs, and I really enjoy reading the attacks and looking at the artwork and things like that. I think it's fantastic. It's part of the game. It's part of the hobby. But it's just a lot more difficult right now because of the insane price points. And I firmly expect this pack price, $16.66, to continue to grow. And it wouldn't surprise me if you're looking at a $25 151 pack by this time next year. It wouldn't surprise me at all, especially with the way that we have seen Pokemon go over the past, several months here. So be very careful out there when it comes to spending your collection dollars. Obviously, it's your money, so do what you want with it. But I wanted to provide the information so at least you have it. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please hit that subscribe button down below. Leave a like, leave a comment. It goes a really long way for the algorithm. But ultimately, thank you so much for being here. I love you guys. Really appreciate you guys so much. So thank you so much for being here. I'll talk to you again in a couple days. Till next time, peace.